What is it about trees that inspires people? Poets, artists, musicians? There's something so immensely spiritual about the perception of trees and the way they speak to us. One particular poet that has inspired me is D.H. Lawrence. I'm standing at one of my favourite spots from the merger of the North Kent Downs and the Surrey Hills, looking over to the Kent Weald, Limpsfield Chart. To my left, amidst the woodland, stands the stately Cerne, the house of the Garnets, where all the poets and novelists of the early 20th century congregated. And to my right is the beautiful church of St Andrew, Limpsfield Chart. Both these places provided the backdrop for this song cycle, Trees of the Forest. The creation of this song cycle came about after a guided tour around the inspirational area of Limpsfield, home to many great creative writers with historical connections too. Everywhere is surrounded by trees, very atmospheric. And at the hub is the house known as the Cerne, where the publisher Edward Garnet lived, and he was agent to many of the leading writers of the early 20th century, including D.H. Lawrence, of course, who stayed there on many occasions. I'm a great D.H. Lawrence devotee. Being born in his hometown of Eastwood, and formerly I was chair of the D.H. Lawrence Society. Lawrence's beautiful gift for assimilating the most musical language of words inspired by nature and the landscape has had a profound effect on me, a composer. The delightful discovery of this adorable atmospheric area led me to organise a concert totally based on these local connections at St Andrews in the village of Limpsfield Chart. And this new composition of Lawrence's words set to a musical art sequence was the outcome. Trees of the Forest. Lawrence depicts the symbolism of these ancient woodlands from their architectural splendour to the falling leaves, to the vulnerability of storms and human meddling. There's a reference to climate change there. But finally, it is the peace of being alone that inspires a transcendent imagery of complete oneness in the most sublime way. There are four contrasting movements. And whilst listening to this music, you may look at pictures taken from two of Lawrence's beloved landscapes and mine too. First of all, the countryside overlooking the Kent Weald from the Downs that we've just been looking at, where so many established poets and novelists would take the same inspiration in their own writing. But the other pictures are from Lawrence's own town of Eastwood, the area he called the country of my heart. And of course, both these areas have an important connection for me too. I've already mentioned how I came to grow and love this area around Limpsfield, but I also have a strong connection with my hometown of Eastwood, as I have stayed in the area around Beauvale Priory, and you will see from the pictures there, which is surrounded by trees as well, this ancient abbey surrounded by this great woodland, that's inspired me too. So I hope the mixing of trees and music and hearing those great words of D.H. Lawrence will give you inspiration too. As a taster towards the full piece, in this documentary we're going to just give you the last movement, that wonderful evocative of being alone in nature. But you can definitely access the whole piece in another video, which is purely the music and the pictures.
With their presences, Nori, at the stage.